The East India Company. The coming of the British to India was heralded by the formation of the East India Company in 1600 by a charter from the Queen of England. The company was initially set up to foster and expand trade in the East Indies and Far East. From a company trading in spice and raw materials for the growing industries in England, the company took over the reins of the government of the areas where it traded through three methods, namely subsidiary alliance, direct possession, and through the policy of the doctrine of lapse. Initially, it set up factories in the outposts of its trading partner to enable smooth movement of materials from the partners to England. Later, they built fortresses to safeguard their factories, and finally, they interfered in the administration of the small kingdoms that existed there during that time and took sides with the different rulers. The subsidiary alliance allowed the British to station their army in the kingdom and also a resident to look after their interests. Invariably, the resident took over the reins of the government. Slowly, the king became a puppet in the resident's hands, and sooner or later, the kingdom was taken over by the British. In other cases, they waged war with the kingdoms and won the kingdom. The last method adopted was what was called the doctrine of lapse, where the king who did not have a natural heir could not adopt an heir and the kingdom automatically lapsed into British territory. This was against the belief of the Hindus and created a lot of discontent. From 1600 to 1857, the company reigned supreme in India and other Asian and African countries, colonizing many areas and extending the British Empire. Perhaps the biggest colony that the British possessed during that time was India, both in terms of size and extent. Having a foothold in a country that was a gateway between the East and the West proved to be a jackpot for the British. Other European countries too tried their hands at colonization, but did not get to sustain what they got. The trading company slowly now became the center of political power in India, and with the blessings of the British government started ruling the country with the help of a Governor General later known as the Viceroy. The end of the company rule came with a mutiny in 1857 when the Queen decided to rule directly and asked all the company officials to return. From 1858, the British government directly ruled India till 1947.